Hey there, it's Bobby from Ragged Poet. This video setup is not the best, but I'm doing what I can. I want to show you a few things. Not many of them are new, but they might be new to you. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this pen, which I waited ages for, and I fell in love with it when I saw it on an old Instagram post. It's a fountain pen, and I loved it because it reminded me of Christmas, and this is the box it came in. It's a Italian pen called a Delta. Let me see if you can see that in there. Just a Delta journal. The company don't make pens anymore, so it was quite hard to find one, but I did find one, and I'm going to show you the beauty of this glorious thing. This is all the bump. It came from a place called Payton Street Pens, and here we are. What do you think of that gorgeous piece of joy? I don't know how well it's quite dark here, so you might not be able to see it very well, but I'll get it out of the... Move the box out of the way. And put that over there. Maybe if I bring that candle closer, you might be able to see it. Don't want to melt it. I don't know. Anyway, it's made of celluloid. It's just gorgeous, and it has a beautiful nib. I'll just write with it. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. There we go. I love the colours, and look at the nib. Can you see that nib? I'm trying to get it in the camera, but I don't know where the camera is. No? Where's it going? I think the camera stopped working. No, it was there. Okay, so there's the pen. There's the nib. You probably won't be able to... I can't do this close-up camera stuff with this phone. My camera's not in a very good place at the moment. I mean, it's not working very well. Anyway, so I wanted to show you that gorgeous pen. Doesn't it remind you of Christmas? It's so beautiful. And also, I'll put that there. It was International Fountain Pen Day on Friday, and I got another pen. Well, I had a 30% off discount. They had 30% off discount, but I also had a rewards voucher from this stationery shop in New Zealand that do a rewards card thing. So I got this, which is a Lamy All-Star. It's not a really special pen, but it's special to me, in vibrant pink, which is a special colour for this year. Or was it last year? No, I think it's for this year. They bring out a special limited edition colour every year, and vibrant pink was this year's colour. It looks a bit like a safari. Well, it looks exactly like a safari, except the bottom part of it is clear, and on the safari they're the same colour, and also the body is, I think it's aluminium. And I also got vibrant. They also bring out a matching ink for their pens every year, so I got the vibrant pink cartridges. But I was told by the guy in the shop, who's a bit of a fountain pen dude, that next year they're bringing out 3 or 4 limited edition colours. So that's pretty exciting. Right, so now we've talked about that. The next thing we're going to talk about is this, which is the Will Worthington and John Matthews Spirit of Nature Oracle. It used to be called the Green Man Oracle, and I had the original old one, and I gave it away. I don't know why I gave it away. I did. Anyway, so I pre-ordered this, I don't know, a long time ago off Depository or somewhere like that, and it came last week. So it's in a sliding cover. It's published by Edison Books, and it's in a sliding box. Just put that there, and you get the book. As I said, I don't have my old one, so I can't compare, but I would like to see a comparison of the cards between this and the old one. The book's really good, like all John Matthews' books are good, and I love Will Worthington's artwork. But, caveat, I think these cards could have been done a lot better. They are super thin, really thin. I'll probably chop the borders off. And I think they look like a really bad photocopy of the original artwork. The colour's different from what I remember. I remember the colour being richer, a lot richer. And I seem to remember these borders being different, like these bits being bigger, or the actual image being bigger. I don't remember the images being this small, but I do know the original had borders. I'm not sure if it had... Yeah, I probably did have white borders. Anyway. They're okay. In a good light. But as I said, and the backs are pretty yuck. I prefer the plain green backs, they do. But I've got it again. As I said, it kind of looks like it's been... Something seems wrong here. But if anyone does have both editions, I would like to compare. I love that one. So there's loads and loads of walkthroughs of the original. So I won't go on any further. I love Blackthorn. But I thought I'd show you that and say, you know, it's not too bad. It's not as bad as I originally thought. Looking at it for another third or fourth time, it's not actually as bad as I thought it was. And you do get a nice book with it. And the box is way better than the original, as the new boxes seem to be. So I'm happy to get it again, because now I've got all of the Will Worthington decks. So that is that. The Spirit of Nature Oracle, otherwise known as the Green Man Oracle. Or was it the Green Tree Oracle? Oh, I've forgotten now. No, it wasn't the Green Man Oracle. It was... Well, maybe it was. I don't know. It was the Green Man Oracle, yeah. It says Ancient Wisdom from the Green Man and the Celtic Tree alphabet. So there we go. Lots of green men in England. In Norwich Cathedral, which is where I was confirmed many years ago, they have roof bosses. I can't remember how many there are, and they've got probably over 100, I think, green men. So if you're really into green men, apart from Kilpeck Church, which is on the Welsh border, Herefordshire, close to the border, which has also got the Sheila McGee, and it's got some amazing, it is like a kind of tarot deck, the carvings around the edge of that church. It's just a really in the middle of nowhere sort of church on the outskirts of the village, and it's a really kind of quite plain to look at and a bit foreboding, but then when you get up close, it's got a green man, and it's got loads of the Sheila McGee, and it's got all these other carvings which are quite diverse, all around the top of the church, like the what do you call them, corbels or whatever. And yeah, so that's there. And then Norwich, as I said, in East Anglia, has got all of the green men roof bosses. So it is an amazing place to visit Norwich Cathedral if you like green men. So that's that. Next, I am going to show you, where is it? Now this one is new, and it's this little beauty. Which is the Russian version of the Deviant Moon Tarot. Because I have every single deck that Patrick's produced, I believe, and I couldn't not have this one. And also, I love other languages. I love different languages. And it's beautiful. So Russian's a lot easier to pronounce than I thought it was. So I started learning to pronounce some of them when I first got the deck a couple of weeks ago, but I can't remember much about it. But I do know that this is pronounced, I think it's Bezumalp Luni Tarot. Bezumalp Luni Tarot. Forgive me, Russian speakers, for my ignorance here. I don't mean any insult at all. And when I translated it, it means the Mad Moon Tarot, Crazy Moon Tarot, the Insane Moon Tarot. So that's the box, and it's the same as the other box, except it's got obviously in Russian. And oh, where's my paper knife? I've got it. Darling Patrick, obviously he signs it and puts his little doofers on there. And you get the cards and the little white book in Russian, which is, I love the shape of these cards in the book and everything. I just love it. So this card stock is absolutely stunning. So we've got the title card there and another art card there, which I believe is possibly advertised in the book, which has also been translated into Russian, and then the cards. I was going through them, so. But, oh my goodness, the card stock is so amazing. It's different to all of the other Deviant Moon decks. I've got, so that's, this is my, no, that's not my first. This is my first, this is a bag I made for my very first Deviant Moon deck about 10 years ago. I knitted it. And it's the bordered edition. And again, it was printed in China. It's quite, the colours are nowhere near, I don't think the colours are as rich as the newer edition. See, there's the Fall. This is the original, the very, very first one that came out. And that's the Fall on the Russian version. And then the backs are pretty much the same. Slightly, it's actually taller, can you see? So there's my original. It's actually a bit skinnier than the original version. So I'll put that one back. And I didn't notice that before because I didn't actually measure. Right, so that's the original. This is my bordered version. These are my two favourite cards out of the deck. So, yeah, they're exactly the same size. And the backs are a bit paler on the Russian version. Let's see if I can find the, I call her Mildred, that one, that little, there she is. Because she looks like a little red witch. So, Russian version, original version of the Deviant Moon. But it could be the cardstock. See, that one seems a little bit darker, maybe. I love it, though. I love them both. This is kind of a bit linen-y. Oh, it shuffles beautifully. This one is kind of smoother. I don't have another deck made of this, and it is stunning. I just love it. So it's very, very beautifully and shuffly and gorgeous. Oh, this is my other original Deviant Moon deck, which I trimmed very much. I trimmed it a lot. So this is, find Mildred. I use this. This one goes everywhere with me. It's my travelling deck. It's always in my bag and has been for many years. I trimmed it years ago, and I just love the size of these cards. I trimmed the white borders off and then I trimmed it right down, well, to the moons really. So if you look at the, I'll get one of the originals out. So this was the deck I trimmed it from, and you can see how much I trimmed off. You see that, and then you look at the back. Look at the back. That'd be easy for you to see. So I trimmed off a good like centimetre or half an inch all the way round, really, or round those two sides if you look at it like that. And it's also quite a bit smaller than the Borderless, but I'm going to find the my little red witchy, because I love my little red witch. Oh, there's that page of wands. I've had him a lot lately. There's my other beauty. Seven of Pentacles, and Patrick knows that's my favourite card. So you can see the difference in size between my baby one and the Borderless. Isn't it cute? I mean, my God, that is so gorgeous. Now, I'm getting confused here. I've got an excess of Deviant Moons. Oh, so that belongs to my... Oh, because my Borderless is on my tarot hanger up there. And that belongs to my baby deck. So, I do adore this Russian version of the deck. The cardstock, yeah, it's different to the Borderless. It's different. The Borderless and my original are pretty much the same cardstock-wise. But the Russian version is just amazing. I don't know, it's just, it's not thin, it smells nice, it's just lovely. Look at the colours, God, I love this deck. Anyway, that's that. Don't want to go on forever and ever. But I could. So we'll put that away. Right. Russian Deviant Moon. Right, now the next thing I'm going to show you, I was looking through my cupboard and I came across a deck that came when I was in England. Mum, the Pholarchos Tarot, which if anyone wants one, let me know. Because I imported it at great expense, but it's really not me. That's, where is it? I think I've got it in a drawer somewhere. It came in this silver wrapper. I mean, it's a beautiful deck. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't. It's just not me. And that's the box. I'm not sure it's Pholarchos or Pholarchos. It's quite big. And you get a nice little hardback book with it, which is colour illustrations. And I love the backs. I reckon I bought it when I was at a bit of a low ebb, and probably when I just heard about Mum or something, and I don't know. But I love the backs, and I think it's these that made me buy them, because it looks like it looks like me, goat person, my hair. If I had horns, I always wanted horns. I'm not sure if I'd have horns or antlers. So that's the cover card, and this is some. I mean, okay, you look at it. I mean, that magician is pretty damn cool, and the cardstock is stunning. Look at the Empress, and she's got a moon. Oh, you know, Justice, the Hermit. I'm not so keen on the little tiny titles in normal type. I think they'd have been better written on, or I don't know. But look at that. See, strength is not fighting or forcing its mouth open. It's being side by side and living peacefully. And look at the Fae creatures. Oh, I might be liking this deck now. And the Hanged One. It's quite diverse, the artwork. So look at the sun. Again, I mean, that's a beautiful sun card. I normally do not like traditional suns. Or actually, I think I like it. I'm crazy. Look at the horses and the Ace of Sparks. So these are more like sort of sketchbook pages. They're quite different to the majors, you know. But and then the courts go back to the, look at the Ace of Spirals. The courts go back to the traditional kind of bigger pictures. Look at him. So they've changed. So coral is cups, wings is wands, I think. Spirals are pentacles, and swords, I believe, I might be wrong, are sparks. But I haven't given it a lot of looks. I looked at it and I thought, oh, I don't know if I like that now. But I'm sure someone else must have gone through it online, but if they haven't and anyone desperately wants to, I might consider it. So that's that, and it came with a magnet and a beautiful art card. And in this nice shiny silver stuff. Oh God, I can't even get the card out now. You get this magnet with it, and this, I mean the art is stunning, and that card. So I think I have liked it. Maybe I looked at it and I was on a real down. I've been very down lately. I do suffer from depression, chronic depression. I have all my life, but recently it's been really bad, and you know, grief is not linear at all in any way, and I've had a lot of shit happen in the last year or so. So I have been grieving a lot, and it's hard. You go up and down. You like take, sometimes it seems 3 steps forward and 1 step backwards. I mean 1 step forward and 3 steps backwards, and it affects you in so many ways. Like I have terrible anxiety attacks and stuff like that. So your mood changes, and the last few days, oh my God, the last few months, I know with the dark of the moon, I've actually been really bad. I've been really suffering with it. So it does affect me. I used to quite like the dark moon, I think, but it's been affecting me badly lately. Okay, so while I was going through my cupboard looking for, I cannot remember what, maybe just trying to create some order in there, and I found the Pholarchos, which had come when I was in England back in March, but I hadn't looked at it because obvious reasons, and plus I was building and my house was in chaos and blah de blah from my flood, which was almost a year ago, unbelievably. I found these 2 decks. Now they're not together. No, amazingly, although they weren't together in the cupboard, I didn't get them together. This one I've had a couple of years, but they're both Game Crafter decks. Would I recommend that Game Crafter decks? Not anymore. I do have a Game Crafter deck that I got years and years ago called Tarot of the Weird, which I never ever see, but I love it. I absolutely adore it. And I like that deck. But these, well, so this is the Rock and Roll Tarot. They're both based on Rider-Waite, kind of sort of rip-offs a bit. And they're quirky, and I kind of like their quirkiness, but they're also extremely frustrating, and they're kind of ones that you love to hate. So this is by Vicky Verley, and the card stock is horrible, like thin. That's the backs, very psychedelic. And what she's done is she's written all this funky 60s poster hair, you know, Woodstock style keywords around the Rider-Waite Smith images, which is fine. The colouring's fine, you know, they're not blurry, they're really well done. The only thing that really bugs me, and I wrote and said about it, and she said she would probably correct it at some point. I said, oh, maybe correct the one card, is all of them, in one way or another, have got the name of the card written on. Like that one's got the Fool, and if I go to, where are we? Chariots. See, they're all pretty much, they've just got all, like, let's say, the keywords, like the Tower's got disaster, upheaval, ruin, catalyst. I like catalyst. I don't use normal keywords, but, and it's got the number on it, and it's got Tower. I read stories, so when I see a card spread, it comes to me what it means, and I don't doubt myself. If it doesn't come, I know that I'm not meant to be doing that reading then. And sometimes these keywords might come into it, but I can't explain it. It's a story. It tells me a story. They link together in a story, and it's just how I've always been able to do that. I like how it's taken like the moon out and put it in there, so it's quite obvious the card it is. Unfortunately, they didn't take the stupid child off the sun card, which would have been much nicer without that. So there we go. So here, and the suits are in different colours. So the wands are all bright red and yellow. The cups are this kind of bluey colour. My favourite ones are the pentacles. No, not the pentacles. Mine are favourite swords actually, but the pentacles are the very green earthy colour, and the swords are these purpley. I think it's the colours that I love. You know, they're just gorgeous. But every card has got, like, say, heartache, grief, breakup, pain, and then it says 3 of Swords. Every single card has got the number of the card on it and the name of the card. Not that I need it, but because every other card has it except this one, the 4 of Swords. And it doesn't have the name of... So I wrote to the person who created the deck, and I said, you know, I was looking at this deck and I wondered, is there any particular reason why you didn't put the 4 of Swords, the name of the card, on in the artwork? And it said, oh no, it was just an oversight. I don't know. It just seems too easy to create tarot decks these days and do it, like, pretty badly sometimes. I'm not saying it's bad, it's good. You know, she's done a decent job. You see what you're getting. But that would have, if I'd have known that in advance, because, you know, I might not have bought it, because that odd thing. I mean, if she does ever create another one and with the thing, hopefully she'll send cards, corrected cards to those who request them. But it's kind of weird. And when they say, like, you know, oh, it was a mistake, but it got into print and they keep printing them, well, I don't know. Puts you off a bit. And then I wrote back and didn't hear back again. But, you know, at least she replied. She was good enough. It's, like I said, you can see the artwork. You know what you're getting. It is what it is. Game Crafter boxes suck. They're really poor. The flaps nearly always break off. There's always big, baggy, lot of space in there. And you don't get a booklet with it, but then you don't need one because it's basic RWS, and she's put the keywords. I mean, no one's done it before that I know of, so yeah, well done, Vicky. Good job. Shame about the 4 of Swords. But we can't all be perfect. Now, the other one is hilarious, and that is this one. This is called the Cosmic Tarot, and I believe I ordered this by mistake. I think I thought it was... I have got the original 1970s or 80s Cosmic Tarot. The very first edition that came out. But there was another deck called the Cosmic Tarot, which was kind of bigger than a tarot deck. It was a sort of tarot oracle deck, and I think it was made by Grey Art Lab or something. And I've actually got their Grey Art Lab tarot deck, and I saw this Cosmic Tarot, and I can't remember if I was trying to find something to get free shipping, add something extra, or had a credit, or whatever. But I thought, oh, I'll get that. And this is what came. Now, this is funny. Like, you know. Are you ready? Ta-da! There's the backs. 2 moons and the T, obviously for tarot, quite reversible. The pictures in the background are Hubble Space Telescope images, which are copyright free. And I believe what they've done here, I might be wrong, is gone into Photoshop with the original RWS image, taken away the colour somehow, inverted it, and ended up, or something like that, and ended up with this white, kind of slightly blobby outline. But I kind of like it. It doesn't say on the box who created it, so I can't tell you. It's got the Carl Sagan quote on the back. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. I left the card out, the world. See, the world's quite nice. But in a kind of funky, backward, strange way, I like it. Although it is weird. Yeah, it's definitely Game Crafter. It says inside. But again, you can see the box. The sides nearly always break off the rubbish boxes. Cardstock, again, is like the last one. It's super thin. If I was going to get a deck printed by one of those mass people, like, I mean, there's some people who do amazing decks. You know, well, I don't know where they get them done, like the Wanderer's Tarot that I showed in my last video, and it's here somewhere. There it is, over there. Beautiful printing. I don't know who printed it. The Crystal Unicorn Tarot, or Luna, whatever it is, my Laughing Eye, Weeping Eye decks. Whoever prints those, they're beautiful. Cardstock boxes, stunning. Game Crafter, not so. Printer Studio, they're not too bad. I think depending on the cardstock. But anyway, here we are. This is what we have. So we have these beautiful, gorgeous, psychedelic, cosmic images of blurry RWS-ness. Which, to be honest, do I prefer it to the original artwork? Yes, I do. Because I think the original artwork is kind of clumsy, and okay, this makes clumsiness a bit more so, but I was never a fan. Some of the cards look worse than others. I mean, that one looks pretty crap. That's always the, you know, a cloud come down out of the sky and gives you another cup of wine card. And they've used the same image on every card, on all the cards in the suit. See, that doesn't look too bad because it's, well, it's still blob, but you can see the blurriness, and it's that kind of slightly linen finish cardstock. That one is a mess, but it doesn't matter because you know what it is. You know, when you know what the card is, you don't, like, we know that's going to be the Six of Cups, so we don't have to, because we know the Rider-Waite imagery. Although even on that card, it's pretty hard to make out. And this one's a bit, you know, you see when they've inverted it, and so the black just becomes a white blob. In Photoshop, there is a command. You just can import an image into it and click invert, and it'll invert the colours to their opposites. And then to do this, you would use a magic wand or something, take away all of the colour except the white, and then impose it over the top of the background. It's not difficult. I mean, Rider-Waite diehards would hate this deck, I guess. I don't know if you call it a clone or a rip-off, or what would you call it? I just call it funny and amusing. It amuses me. So, again, like the Rock and Roll Tarot, which, again, is another... I might have even got that by mistake, actually, because there's another deck called the Rock and Roll Tarot, which is worth a lot of money, which I don't have. So, wands are kind of ready. Cups are bluey-purpley. Swords and wands are quite close. If you look at that, see, that's slightly redder. I think they could have made a bit more of a difference here. But yeah, they're pretty close. So they're more difficult to tell apart, although you have got the words on the blobby images. And then the pentacles are green. You know, I mean, looks just blobby, eh? But I thought you'd get a laugh out of it. I mean, look at the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, no, this is... I think they've also put one of those art filters on it. This looks like one of the etch filters in Photoshop that you can apply. The Fool's come out well, though. I mean, he's pretty clear, isn't he? Maybe they missed out the filter. All the artwork's just finer. I mean, that one, I like that card. I think that's a really nice version of the Fool. If you can have the Rider-Waite Fool, that's probably one of my all-time favourite versions of it. So whoever created this, thank you. And the Magician, again, is beautiful. The Emperor's good. The art looks a lot better on the majors, doesn't it? Than the Hermit's a little bit blob, but it's funky. Justice is a bit icky. Moon's cool. And the baby disappears, so that's kind of quite a cool sun. Oh no, see, that's got a... See that bad edging there? That would annoy me. There we are. That is the, what do I say? The Cosmic Tarot, and I have no idea who it's by, but it came from Game Crafter, because it says so inside the box. It's weird not to have any credit, no name or anything on the box. So if you think you really love it and have to have it, just go to Gamecraft and see if it's still there. So there we are. I think that's it. All I've got to show you. Oh, I was going to show you these. I don't know if I think I put these on Instagram. These bobbins, these are lace making bobbins. I've had that goblet hundreds of years, and they've got all the different phases of the moon on. They were mum's. My mum made lace, and I thought I'd show you them. Very, very beautiful. So there's the new crescent moon. And that's kind of a half moon. And they've got the beads that looks like a kind of cosmos. And that's the new moon, which we're on now. New moon in Scorpio. And the full moon. And then a cloudy moon. And I'm not sure that's a waxing or a waning crescent, depending on what part of the hemisphere you're in. Because did you know in New Zealand we see the moon upside down and back to front? Most people don't know that. I don't think you're going to be able to see this video, really. I don't know. Maybe if I put... Oh, I don't know. Anyway, most people don't realise that in New Zealand we see the moon upside down. So all of the moon decks, just about, unless they're completely reversible, the opposite way around for us here. Because our waning crescent looks like the northern hemisphere's waxing crescent. It's just because we're looking at it from upside down, obviously. So there we go. That's that. I think I've shown you all the things I was going to show. So yeah. I said I haven't made a video for a while. I've not been on YouTube really, except I've been looking at fountain pen videos, watching Goulet pens because I really like them. And not been on TarotTube. I'm kind of bored with it at the moment. There's nothing much on there to see. I don't mind looking for there's some more unusual videos that I look out for, which are cool. Now and again, if I want to find something bizarre. And sometimes I just put a keyword in YouTube and you'll be amazed at the stuff that comes up. Like the other day I found out that medieval people walked by putting the ball of their foot down first, which is way better for the human skeleton. When you try and do it, it's very difficult. But that's how they walked in medieval times. They know this by the shoes and the way the skeletons were and stuff. It's quite a hard way to walk, but it means they didn't like run everywhere. They took their time and they didn't go up and down loads of stairs and escalators all the time. And it meant you can't really walk too fast because you tip over yourself. And your posture was way better. It's really much better for your posture. Give it a go. Try walking put the ball of your foot down first. So the front of your foot, then the heel. It's kind of hard, but if you do it every now and again, it helps. Apparently, helps your skeleton. So there we go. Rightio. Bye for now.